What up? What up? What up?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Good, Dan. How's it going?
Fantastico. I'm gonna hop on here and see if everything's working. I noticed that the trading view is a little bit laggy. It's a little bit laggy for me. Might be fine for you.
Yeah, I'll jump on right now. What was the
Let me
final
send it.
Bitcoin analysis?
Bullish
divergence, you said?
Yeah, a little bit of RSI bullish divergence, and we're in this nice little 6 hour. I know how you hate the sub 1 week squeezes, but we're in this nice little 6 hour squeeze. TTM squeeze went long at basically the 236, 11,771, and we've sold off since then.
Yeah, that looks like a three-way move to me, and I'm a little cautious right now on BTC. It's a little sloppy. I'm not sure how to count it, but I'll try and go over it here in a second.
Yeah, no problem. Let me tweet out the TraderUnknown's on. I'll link the tweet and shout. You guys can help us out.
All right, I'm gonna try and log in here.
Yeah, no problem.
This really looks like a three-wave move to me. I just can't get over that fact right now.
Sorry, I'm getting off the...
No worries. It basically hit 100% extension here, turned down. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin do a double bottom retest down here.
Really?
Yeah, the way I was counting this as the bottom of my 3 and my 4 right here, with this being my 5 and a truncated 5. But this does not look impulsive to me. This looks like a three-wave move right here. And if we, it would be weird to have a 5-3-5 for a ABC 5th wave, but that's just kind of what it looks like to me right now. So we've got a 5 down here, 3-wave here, and if we make another 5 down here, double bottom, that would be an ABC for a 5th wave. What we need to see in order for that to not happen is we really need to see this breakout above this 12,000 number here. But yeah, I was looking at this chart earlier, and I was noticing this triangle, and this move looks like a three-wave corrective move. It doesn't really look impulsive to me. As much as I would like it to be impulsive, guys, I don't know. It doesn't look impulsive yet. So yeah, Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is a real toss-up right now. I would not be surprised to see it come down and double bottom. However, there is a chart I really would like to digest in full. I might do a little something different tonight. Can we turn the music down just a tad?
Yeah, no problem. Give me a second. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I like it. It's just that's all I'm hearing right now.
Oh, if you can actually here. Let me check something.
I see a lot of calls for Ven. Let's just go ahead and look at it real quick. See here?
It should be a little better.
Yeah, no worries. I'm having a little problem with charting altcoins at the moment, simply because I'm Bitcoin itself is moving. So when you're charting, for example, say Ven against Bitcoin, not only are you getting Ven movement, right, but you're getting Bitcoin movement as well. And I'm really not sure how to factor that in my own mind, how to really wrap that around my own brain. Because I feel like you're getting both movements in the chart. So traditional like Elliott Wave rules, for example, I'm finding I can't really follow. But if we look at Ven, it's definitely a bullish long-term market. We are in a corrective pullback. We've got a triangle pullback here. We've got another consolidation here. I really still think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This impulsive move to me looks like an all of a wave 1, because there really isn't much of a pullback to really call it like a primary wave 2. So I think this triangle pullback here is our primary wave 2. Here's a wave 3. Let's pull extensions just to see what that extension looks like.
You can go and delete all the drawing tools too, man.
No, I'm fine working with it as is. All right, so we haven't reached. Let's move that up to like here. All right, that is a 1-to-1. What are we on? 6 hours? Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, this really is kind of the start of our impulse here. I mean, it did kind of start here. So there's really two ways. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it does look like a 1, 2, 3 to me. I mean, I guess it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. I mean, there's no doubt we are in pullback mode, corrective mode, where the actual pullback stops. This channel looks really good for starters. This is why corrective wave 2s and 4s are really, really hard to call, especially when you have something like this. I mean, you do have a bullish market here, but this could be the top of a 3. This could be the top of a 5. And I really don't know. I mean, I could kind of count it both ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this would be a very small 1, 2 if we're going to count this as a 1, 2. The volume is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. See, it could be either way. It really could. I mean, regardless of whether this is the top of a 3 or a 5, I do like this chart for the longer term trend. If this is the top of 5, let me pull the worst case scenario retrace zone. So we'll count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm giving you worst case scenario here, guys. Okay, if this is the top of a 5, what we would expect to see is be something like an ABC retrace. So down to 50% zone or even the 618 zone. If that's the top of 5, I'm giving you worst case scenario here for this market. I really don't know. It could be either way. If this is the top of a 3, we should see it bottom within this channel. So both scenarios, we should see some kind of a bottom and bounce in this channel. The real test is going to be whether the bounce out of this channel either breaks it upwards. If it breaks it upwards, then we can count this as our wave 3 high instead of a 5. However, if we do not break out of this channel and we start to see resistance and start to roll over again, I would very much default to this being the top of 5 and counting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, and seeing a deeper retrace for a C wave down to either 50% or 618. Probably not all the way down to 786, but it could. I mean, it really could. You just never know, guys. You really don't. I'm finding these markets are very running on, very much emotional, very emotional, highly charged emotional kind of markets. So it just, I don't know. It could go either way. A 50% retrace would be okay. Third wave is supposed to be the longest. Yes, generally, but here's the thing, and I just touched on this a couple minutes ago, is I don't think traditional Elliott Wave rules can really be relied upon when I'm charting something against Bitcoin, because not only is Venn moving, but Bitcoin itself is moving. And I don't know how to really factor that in my mind yet. So me personally, I am having a hard time kind of wrapping my head around that. But I just want to give you worst case scenario here for Venn. 50% retrace could be all the way here if this is the top of a 5. It could be the top of a 3, it could be the top of a 5. I really don't know. But look for this channel that Mike has in here, really good. I like it. If it, bounces and then finds resistance and then fails and breaks down, expect to see at least a 50% retrace, which is this 42,000 Satoshi number here.
Looks good to me. I just keep seeing a lot of these things just average down volume. Volume is just
right
in the basement,
It's just, it's just hard to, first of all, it's really hard to call corrective moves. And second of all, when you've got a structure that could be counted multiple ways, you just got to take that into consideration, right? You don't really know until after the fact, but those were the worst case pullback retracements. I do want to go over Ethereum because I would like to really go in depth and kind of break it down. All right, I am going to remove all your stuff here, though. All right, guys, just had to get set up there. Okay, I really want to do a very thorough, in-depth analysis on Ethereum, simply because this is my favorite chart right now. It has my most confidence in, in terms of my count. I just really like this right now. So let's go ahead and start out with a full overview analysis, starting from the top down. So I'm going to go to the weekly chart to do our top-down analysis from. First, get our basic wave structure count on the weekly. That looks like a 1, 2, 3, absolutely. And I do believe we have already bottomed in our 4. And to do that, we are going to look closer. But first, let's grab our 5th wave projection, since I do believe we have bottomed. So the 100% to 1618 projection zone is where I would be targeting for wave 5. Let's go ahead and drill this down as to why I believe our wave 4 is already done. So weekly chart looks great. Let's go to the daily chart. You can see we've got a 5-wave move in our daily chart. That looks good. Got our 1, 2 here, our 3, 4 here, and our 5th wave for our all 5 waves of 3. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, but just so you guys can see that, I charted it for you. So this is definitely our first impulse and corrective wave. This is definitely our wave 3 impulse, no question. Let's pull our retrace zone for wave 3. Start of wave 3 impulse right about there. Good, we got at least a 50%, almost to the 618 retrace. That looks beautiful. Okay, we're very close to a MACD cross here. Let's go ahead and drill this down, and I will show you why I really like this chart right now. So we're going to go to the 1-hour chart and look at our corrective move here and really see what we can figure out here. Let me just kind of get this out of the way, I guess. All right, I'm going to make the Mac Daddy bigger, and we're going to go look for those trend lines in the Mac Daddy. So there's already a couple that I see that are interesting and that we want to look at. We've definitely got a support one here that ended up breaking down, and then it broke out, and then it's kept on some support over here. So that one looks interesting to me. Let's go ahead and plot that. Definitely saw some support, broke down, broke out, gained support again. We've also got something going on here. We've got a downtrending one that broke out. So I want to see what that is. So we definitely got some stuff going on in our MACD. Triangle of momentum, if you will. This area right here, since we've got a very long-term uptrending support line, I'm going to be really interested in this area here. right where it broke down. Now, I already did my homework on this one, so I know what it looks like. But let's just go ahead and look in the chart and see at what price action was doing when that occurred. Okay, right around here is where that broke down. So let's go ahead and mark this zone, because that's a fairly decent zone of price action where it kind of came down. You can see the long wicks there. It bounced, and then as soon as it broke down, it just tanked. So let's go ahead and mark this little zone here, because that's interesting. All right, I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. Let's zoom out a little bit more here. Someone just asked, why am I doing ETH, not BTC? Because right now I am much more confident in my Ethereum count than Bitcoin at the moment. So if we assume this is the top of our primary three, we know this obviously is a corrective move and a definitely impulsive down. There's no question that that is an impulsive down move. And no doubt we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here somewhere, pretty much like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, now here's where our important box comes into play. Well, first of all, you can see we ran into resistance right there. So that's just one thing about that magic box that we just drew. But I'm going to leave it over here for now. We've got a downsloping resistance line right there, starting from right there. We also have an upward sloping support line starting at the bottom of R5. Well, folks, to me, this looks like a beautiful Elliott Wave triangle. Let's go ahead and chart that out. We've got our 5-wave moves down for our A leg, B, C, D, E. All right, guys, that looks beautiful to me. Very nice A, B, C, D, E correction move in Ethereum. Now, let's go ahead and go back to our Mac Daddy. I want to go back to the 1-hour chart. I mean, so the MACD, you'll get the same information on all charts, but I really like, for my detailed clues, I really like that 1-hour chart. It really helps me find some amazing information. So we had that up, the support line, right? That broken resistance, or broke support, and then we broke out of it, and now it's finding resistance or support again in that same line. I want to look at this upward sloping, or that down sloping top resistance line that we had, because we did break it as resistance here. And now we're coming down to possibly test it as support, which I would very much like to see. But let's go back to the chart. So this zone that we broke out of that resistance line in the MACD is right in our zone where we are suggesting, where I am suggesting that was the end of our correction move and the start of our next 1-2 impulse for our higher degree 5th wave.
One quick thing, Blade Relic, thanks for subbing with Twitch Prime.
Nice. Thanks for the sub, guys. Twitch Relic, or Blade Relic. Awesome.
Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. I'm not really paying attention to chat right now, just because I want to focus on this chart because I think this is so important right now. So we have what looks like an impulsive move out of our triangle, and it has that impulsive look. We went over our suggested B wave. We reached resistance in this zone where we broke down in the MACD. That's great. I mean, that's right where you'd expect to find resistance. So what I think we need to do in this market is now pull a retracement. We now need to look for this retracement zone as our support box. And if this is a wave 1, we're going to get a 5-wave move down for our A wave. We're basically going to get some kind of ABC correction, right? So A, B, C, something like that maybe. And it's going to take the shape of a 5-3-5 structure. And it looks like we've already got our 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5th wave down later tonight. We would get an ABC up for our B wave, maybe all the way to the top of this box, maybe not that high, maybe something a little more like this. And then I would want to see another 5-wave move down, maybe to the 618 zone, which would be perfect because that would be the resistance zone of our D leg on our triangle. And so whenever you have resistance break out and then turn into support, that's always fantastic to see. Now for the MACD, what we want to confirm this is we would want to see the same structure in the MACD. So what we would see is the same ABC in our MACD, because you can chart out the same structures in the MACD, with Elliott Wave as you would in price action. And we can actually do that in our triangle here as well, because this was our furious A, B, C, D, E, and it is there. It's not perfect, but it is there. Oh, whoops. That was an ABC. So there's our A, B, C, D, E. You can see it lines up with our price action. So we want this downtrending line to turn into support, right? We broke it as resistance, okay, right? Just like in price action, we want to see it turn into support, do a little ABC retrace. And guess what? That's going to give us another downtrending resistance line, just like that. You can chart it out when it comes into fruition. And then to give us confirmation that this count is correct, we would want to see it, come into support down here. It could dip below it. That's fine as long as it bounces and curls back up. And then if we break out of this line, that will be the next start of our impulse leg, right? That would be off of our E low. That'd be our 1, 2, and then we go 3, 4, 5 impulse out of here. So this is where I believe we are. I've gone over this count. I went over this chart for hours today, and I think this is where we are. I really like this chart. I'm very confident in this count. It just looks right to me.
We got 2 more subs. Crypto North and Chromie P, thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks for the sub, guys. So this is currently how I am charting this market. Does anyone have any questions? Could I summarize? Yes, I believe so. I think our 4th wave retracement is done. It ended in a triangle ABCDE. I believe we have our initial 1st wave impulse out of our Elliott Wave triangle. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. I believe we are beginning our A leg down of our ABC wave 2 retrace. to start our initial impulse for primary wave 5. If I wanted to use the ABCD triangles, what I look up, basically when you have a triangle like this, there's this really good there's this nice primer on Elliott Wave on stock charts, I believe, just Elliott Wave principle. It kind of goes over, some basics. Beyond that, if you want to get more in depth, I would pick up, I believe it's Elliott Wave Principles by Frost and Prechter, the book. Just check out it on Amazon. How come I'm charting with this relation to USD instead of BTC? I kind of went over that a little bit earlier. I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around charting everything against Bitcoin because I think we're getting double movement in those charts via the movement of Bitcoin itself, as well as the movement of the coin that you're charting against Bitcoin. For me, I'm a Forex trader, and I've trading with currency pairs. That is kind of my experience, and trading against Bitcoin, it's not acting as I would kind of expect in my experience trading in the Forex market. So I'm having a little difficulty charting things against Bitcoin. I feel like my rules and my normal kind of structures aren't, they're kind of working, but they're kind of not. Does that third impulse look a little weak? Not arbiter. I'm not sure which third impulse you're talking about. The 8 and 21 EMA. Yeah, I really like the 8 and 21 EMA, especially on a daily chart. If you got a job, a day job, and you're really not looking to day trade and everything, you could literally just trade off of the 8 and 21 daily EMA and use that as a signal to go long or step aside. It does work. You're not going to catch the bottoms, you're not going to catch the tops doing that, but it is a simple way to kind of just generally gauge the trend of whatever time frame you're looking at.
Thanks, Darkside.
Can I post this to TradingView? Let me see. My wave 5 down. So let's just go zoom back in. Yeah, let me see if I can post this. Let's see. Let's go down to the hourly. So our ideal retrace zone for our suggested wave 2 would be right around 1050 at the worst case, but I really don't see it going down that far. I would really expect it to, and I hate to use that word, expectation, but I really think it would bounce in the 618 zone because that would be the top of our suggested D leg. So really around 1100 would be a great buy. 1130 would also be a fantastic buy. If this count is wrong, then that's when our 786 retrace will really come into play, because if this market starts breaking down below 1050, then I'm going to have to reassess this count because something else might be going on. But right now, this to me looks fantastic. I really do like this. So let's go ahead. Let me clean this up and just get rid of this other stuff. So this would be retrace zone. Let me see if I can publish this, or let me just take a snapshot. All right, I'm gonna have to just paste this to Mike, and he can paste it in the Twitch chat because I don't have a Twitch.
And that's how you get coins.
Yeah, no problem.
IVXX Dota, thanks for the sub.
I'm going to give you a larger time frame one as well. All right, Mike will post those. Thank you, Mike. I also want to take a quick look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin weekly chart, because I think that is confirming my thoughts about this market as well. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that. So real quickly, we're going to do a long-term trend analysis. To me, that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, starting or in the heart of a fifth wave. So I believe Ethereum is the better coin to play right now than Bitcoin, in all honesty. I'm just gonna get rid of his retracement here because those are resistance fibs and I want to look for targets. So I'm gonna grab all of our wave 3, project it from the bottom of our 4. So the 100 to 1618 projection zone is, I believe, where Ethereum is going. Probably over the next, I don't know, 6 to 12 months. Yeah, probably over the next year. I think Ethereum might be the better chart to play this year, to be honest. But I really like the count we just did. I feel like that is the correct count. Expect a wave 2 retrace into that 1150, and I believe we're going higher. Let's see, any other questions? I know I spent a lot of time on Ethereum there, guys, but I do really like that count right now. That is the chart that I have the most confidence in.
Definitely looks good.
I like, also take a note, guys, here, look at the bottom of our 4 here. We've got a massive volume coming in. It just looks good. I did Ven earlier. Ven could either be the top of a 5 or a 3. It's definitely in pullback mode. Let me just go over it real quick again. I'm not going to really do anything new to it, but just reiterate what I already said. If this channel doesn't hold, expect a much larger retrace down to 30,000 Satoshi level, 35K. I do not use Ikimoku Cloud. I have no idea how to use that. Can't help you with that one. ICX, let's take a look at real quick. Well, it looks like a top of a 3. Is there any other data? No, all we got is Binance. Okay. Definitely looks like a bullish rectangle, kind of. I'd like to see more volume. Let's see if we can find anything on that hourly MACD. How to interpret the EMA tools? Very simple. I like the 8 and 21 because those are Fibonacci numbers. The EMAs basically just kind of give you a general overview of trend. Okay, so say if we go to the daily, both EMAs are moving up. They're pointed up. the daily trend looks good. I mean, we can just by looking at the EMAs, the 8 and 21, we can assume, well, first of all, the 8 is above the 21. They're both moving up. They're both uptrending. They're both kind of in the direction of, bottom left to upper right. So you can just say generally the daily trend is up, and that's, it can be as simple as that, right? You can use the EMAs to signal entry and exit points, just depending on your style. I like the 8 and 21. I've used it for a while. Again, those are Fibonacci numbers. Some people like to use more than 2 EMAs. I've seen the John Carter method where he uses like 8, 21, 34, 55, 89, as kind of a fan, and that works too. Just kind of depends on your personal preference, but the EMAs, you just kind of a general guideline of, very quickly, what are the EMAs doing? Oh, are they pointed up? Well, then you're in, you got an uptrend. 8 and 21 refer to average over many days. It depends. So it's 8 and 21 period, right? So that's going to change depending on the time frame of your chart. So if you've got an 8 and 21 EMA on the daily chart, those are going to be 8-day, 21-day. If it's on the weekly chart, it's going to be 8-week, 21-week. Or if it's on the hourly chart, it's going to be 8-hour, 21-hour. Can we check out WTC? Yes, I believe it's in a wave 4 pullback. But as far as this one, it looks like a bullish rectangle here where you just kind of have price go sideways in a rectangle. MACD is kind of resetting.
This is not financial advice, guys, and saying things like that is silly. All we're doing is looking at charts, giving ideas.
You really want to see this box break out to the upside as well as the MACD break out of this resistance line in order to confirm the next up leg. Otherwise, you're susceptible to correction, right? I mean, markets move up, they move down. It's a two-way street, guys. I can't always just go straight up, unfortunately. It'd be a lot easier if they did, but it just does not work that way. So we do have what looks like an ABC 3-wave retrace down there for could be 4. I mean, that could be done, no question. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th wave would be somewhere up there. So yeah, you really want to watch this resistance rectangle here that it's kind of in. It's kind of got like a triple top thing going on right now. You want to see it break out of there on good volume to confirm the next excuse me, the next leg of the 5th wave. Let's look at this on a 4-hour and see what it looks like. So our moving averages are bullishly aligned on the 4-hour. That does look impulsive. It does look good. That does look like a 3-wave move. The problem is you count this 1, 2. Yeah, this could be a 1, 2. Counting corrective moves are really, really hard. But if you could also see, we've got kind of an inverse head and shoulders thing going on here, right? We've got a shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, shoulder, neckline again. So again, it's really kind of this zone right here. You really just need to see a breakout on good volume. It tried right here, but it rejected it so far. But yeah, you want to see this breakout on good volume to really confirm the next leg of our wave. So you just got to take it from one decision to the next, guys. I don't have all the answers for you.
Just most of them.
It does look good, though. Either way, long term, this is a bullish market. This is not a bearish chart by any means. Corrective action is just so hard to chart, guys. It's so hard to call, which is why I prefer that lazy river mentality where I don't beat myself up over not calling the corrective stuff perfect, because, guys, you really could drive yourself mad, analyzing every little peak and valley, every wave, and looking at the charts all day long, you can drive yourself insane. I've done it. It's not fun.
I always try to tell people it's much easier to find tops than bottoms. It just has been in
It's
crypto.
true. It's true. It is. All right. Someone wanted WTC. Let's just take a quick look at that on the weekly. Very nice bull market. Looks fantastic. I do believe we finally topped in our third wave. Let's just get rid of that real quick. So guys, when you do top-down analysis, you always want to start from the largest time frame first, because your larger term trends are going to be the strongest currents, right? The strongest currents in those lazy rivers are going to be your weekly charts here. So if we know what's going on in the weekly, we can kind of drill it down further and get our analysis in the daily or the hourly or the 4-hour or whatever other chart that you like to use. Now let's grab our wave 1 extension, see where we topped at in wave 3. Wow, we made it over the 1618. Very bullish market here, guys. Very, very nice. So now let's pull our retracement for wave 3, starting the bottom of our 2 to the top of our wave 3. 50% retrace looks good. That would be fantastic. It would not interfere with the top of our wave 1. That would look really good. Right around 22,000 satoshis, somewhere around there. So 21.6. Maybe it doesn't get that low. Maybe maybe it bounces before there. But it's definitely in retrace mode. I would be not a buyer here, not yet. I would wait for a more defined retrace. When we look on the hourly, it looks like we ran into resistance at this previous resistance zone. So we look like we have further to fall and retrace too. So definitely look for from 25,000 Satoshi level to around 21,000 is where I would be a buyer in this market. Ven, fundamentally solid coin. Yeah, it's bullish market. It's always going to, things are always going to retrace. It could be the top of a 5, could be the top of a 3. Long-term hold is still good, absolutely. Has Tether distorted the price of Bitcoin across multiple exchanges? I do not know. I haven't really charted Tether.
Yeah, the only time we need to worry about Tether, guys, is when we're actually charting against USDT markets. And then we have to take into account the Tether to US dollar price, and it just gets messy as hell.
All right, so I believe we're in a wave 4 currently on the weekly chart. Can't buy it up here. I need more of a retrace. All right, someone wanted EOS. Let's take a look at EOS. Wow, straight up on Binance. Let's see if we can...
Yeah, this one's been a banger.
See if Bittrex or Bitfinex has longer data. Okay, they've got more data. That is interesting. Well, that looks like a cup on the weekly chart, no doubt about it.
You know what? That handle retrace looks almost perfect too. That first handle retrace when looking at the daily.
Right, it does. I'm wondering though if it needs another one.
Yeah, it might.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't. This one's a little interesting. If we look at our EMA crosses where we can start our impulsive count. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what that looks like for our extension. All right, so hit 1618. That's good. I like that. I'm not sure how to count this, to be honest, in terms of the final fifth there. This looks good for our 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we kind of have a little 1, 2 here, 3, 4. I think we have to count it that way. Or this is our 4, top of 3 here, and our fifth is this actually over here. So 5 waves for our fifth wave. I believe that's how we have to count this, and our real handle is about to come in this market. Now, when we look at the MACD, let's drill down to the hourly. We might see some negative divergence there. Yep, sure enough, it looks like it, huh? All right, the MACD is kind of curling on the 1 hour already. To me, in this market, I would not be surprised. And we do have negative divergence, so we've got somewhat equal prices at the top of our 5 here, but we've got a lower high in the MACD, as indicated in our triangle here. So that is a negative divergence. I would look for this triangle to probably break down if we get a larger handle. Let's pull a retrace zone. Look for the final wave. This will be our initial retrace support box. And what are the rules generally for a cup and handle? Do you know, Mike?
I just kind of made my own, to be honest. And I know that sounds silly, but I look for it to not retrace past the 38.2 from the top, from bottom to top, 38.2 down, and a 23.6, then a break of the cup is generally the strongest. But that's just the way I do it, and a lot of people do it.
The full cup right there.
Yeah, the very full
382.
Yeah,
I mean that would be a pretty big retrace to the top of our suggested wave 3. It could happen. I mean, there's really no
generally I like the 23.6. Just so you know, generally it's like the 23.6 retrace for a handle is generally.
23.6. Okay.
Yeah, 23.6 to 382. Somewhere.
Okay. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Okay, there we go. That looks better. So that does look good for our retrace handle zone right here. So
yeah, I found the most bullish one, guys, to like basically stop at the 23.6 and then find a march up, and then the top of the cup is our next idea there. But yeah, not hitting the 38 and generally bouncing off the 23, somewhere in that range though.
Yeah, and I would think this would be an ABC, so maybe something like that. Our bigger, larger degree 1, 2. And then again, guys, in the MACD, when that happens, if that happens, let's go to our 1 hourly chart. Look for, so if we break this as support, look for it to break out again. Keep that line in play, because that will be important to keep an eye on, as well as this one as well. So I believe we will have a larger handle here. I could be wrong. I don't know the future, but that's what it looks like to me.
Still looks damn good overall, though. That's what I'd say.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very large cup and handle pattern, no question.
Yeah, Tempos, we do our best to upload all the special guest clips to YouTube. All right, we're almost at the top of the hour, dude. Is there anything else that you were looking at specifically for your own stuff?
I still like HSR. That one is definitely gonna take a while. It's a longer, definitely a weekly chart. I still like it though. It looks good. Definitely has that look of it kind of flattening out, bottoming out, volume coming in, crazy look in its eye before blast off. So yeah, I do like HSR. Take a look at VIB. VIB's weird. I did trade VIB for a little while. You know, it had this really long period of lull, just no volume, and it seems like there's a lot of supply up here, right? Every time the market gets up here, somebody comes out and just sells.
Yeah.
I mean, every time.
This is another one of those ones that's just been nailing fibs on every up push. Just been mashing them. Hey, look at our current push. Where do we stop? Like,
right, right. That's to the TikTok ticky. Neo,
it's crazy.
Neo is definitely bullish. Let's see. Let's take a look. Neo looks like we're in a fifth of a third. So if we call this our 1, 2, wave 3 up here, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like we're still in the fifth wave of our primary third in Neo. So probably something like that. 1, 2. Whoops. Let's try that again. I'm sure there's a 1, 2 in there. We're on the weekly chart, so it's going to be less pronounced. But yeah, probably the 1618 extension right there for top of 5. I can't pull a retrace yet because we don't have the top of our 5 yet. But to me, Neo looks like, oh, I thought it just glitched there. But Neo is definitely in a bull market. Looks like we're breaking out right now for our fifth wave higher. Does NXT look similar to HSR? I have not done TRX yet. Let me do 2 of those real quick. TRX and NXT.
I did a really long wave on TRX, so it'll be funny to see if it's still on the chart.
NXT. I've looked at this chart before, guys. This is just sloppy and ugly. I just don't know. Here, the thing about hard charts, guys, just avoid them. Why make it hard on yourself? Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing that I can really. I mean, we've got like some kind of megaphone triangle is the first thing that I see. But that is very volatile. That's what was the other one that someone wanted to look at? Let me see. Oh yeah, TRX. Can't give you a wave count on NXT. It just I just can't do it. I mean, this still looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Still, I mean, we definitely went a little bit below our 786 zone, but it's still in my little 786 618 zone that I generally like to buy in. Volume has just become anemic. We definitely need to see volume uptick before we have confirmation of the end of this long and grueling wave 4. It's just killing everybody right now. What can I say? Any hope? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have not broken, we have not broken down below these levels. If it starts breaking down below these levels, especially on good volume, then I believe hope would be lost. But there is still hope in this chart, no question. Now, hope is not a trading strategy, so I don't suggest you bet the farm at this and hope it goes up, because that would not be very wise. Can I check out XRP? XRP, yes. Actually, let's take a look at that real quick. We do have some stirrings in XRP. If we look at the hourly, I noticed this earlier today. We have some volume come in. Wow, look at that. That's
I know, for the first time in forever.
For the first time in ever, we've got volume, and it didn't go down on the volume, right? It actually went up. We got our little 821 EMA cross on the hourly. It looks great so far. That looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 to me. Let's go ahead and plot that. So guys, we want to see it finish a 5th wave higher above our 3. We would want to see it pull back in a corrective fashion, not impulsive. That would mean an ABC of some sorts, maybe back to the top of our 3. You can pull a retrace once you have the top of 5, but I can't do that yet because it's not in. But that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 with some good volume. 821 EMA cross. Let's see if it looks like on the 2-hour. We got our 821 EMA cross on the 2-hour. It looks impulsive. XRP looks good. It looks like the beginning of our next impulsive wave. Let's zoom out on the daily. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Some kind of, shoot, I just screwed up your fibs. I'm just going to delete it. You can redraw it.
It's fine.
Some kind of corrective. It's not quite an ABC. I mean, maybe it's kind of an ABC. This is, again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, whereas I feel like the traditional rules aren't quite perfect because you have not only the movement of XRP itself, but you also have the movement of Bitcoin, and I believe that is showing up in the charts somehow. But for this market on the daily, 821 cross, if for those of you who want to wait for absolute confirmation that this corrective move is done, you can wait for that 821 EMA cross in the daily, and you can buy it there. Because the volume still, when you look at the daily, the volume still isn't quite there yet. We want to see that MACD curl across. We want to see that 821 cross to give us confirmation that our corrective wave is over and that we're starting the larger degree wave, which would be a wave 3, which would be really nice. If that's our 2, 3 would be somewhere up there, and then a 4 or 5 down the road later this year. So something like that, guys.
Looks good.
Let's see, APPC. I haven't looked at that in a while.
Last time I looked at it, it looked pretty terrible.
That's kind of what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, jeez, that really broke down, didn't it?
Kind of looks like TRX, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I normally don't like to see it retrace that far. Oof, looks like a dog, guys. Sorry. Ioya. Let's see if I can get through some quick charts here on the daily. Gosh, it's like still in some kind of like corrective muck. It did look like a triangle for a while, A, B, C, D, E, but now there's too many hits. It does look impulsive here.
IOTA's had some really, really bad press lately, which has caused volume to go into the toilet.
Yeah, that volume is just anemic. Look at that. Oh man, I'm getting a lot of requests for charts. I'm sorry I didn't get through too many charts tonight, guys. I really just wanted to focus on Ethereum. And the reason why is because I have such confidence in that count. And to me, Ethereum is the best chart out there to buy. I really believe so. Let's go ahead and just take a look at it so we can end on that note and see what, if anything, moved and during this hour that we were chatting and having fun. Let's see. Let's go down to the hourly. Did anyone have any questions specific to the Ethereum analysis that we did earlier? Because that's really where I would like to focus, simply because I really, really like this count right now. Big picture breakdowns like I did on ETH, at least one like that every week. Yeah, I could start to get organized and just do a big picture breakdown, real lazy river stuff. So let's see here. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of going up into our wave one, but again, I think that's okay. BTC double bottoms, how does my wave adjust on ETH? It would not adjust, because I think we are in a corrective pullback in Ethereum itself. So I feel like Ethereum will just do its wave 2 pullback and bottom in our 618 zone, which is the top of our suggested D wave for our triangle. I missed a deep dive. I have ETH. Anyway, well, let's just zoom out real quick. Let's just go over it. A quick overview. Ethereum. I believe we are in a primary wave 5. I believe our primary wave 4 correction is over. Our targets for Ethereum dollar would be around $2,500 US per Ethereum. This correction looks great to me. This looks like a great impulsive chart. Again, this chart looks really good. I'm really liking this chart. Let's go down to the hourly. Actually, let's go to the 4 hour so some people can see the triangle for our wave 4. We did some really cool analysis earlier, guys, with the MACD. If you missed it, I would highly recommend going and checking it out. But basically, we found some really interesting plots on the 1 hourly MACD, and we looked at it in relation to our price action, and we found some very key stuff in those important zones. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse down for our A leg for our primary wave 4. It triangles into an A, B, C, D, E here. I believe that is the end of our primary wave 4, and this is our initial 1, 2 impulse to start our primary wave 5. We've got the top of our 1 in, and we are now working on a 5 wave move down for A, which would bottom in an ABC over the next few days. So something like that. Look for the 50% to 618 retrace of this leg from the bottom of our E to the top of our suggested wave 1. Let me see if I missed any questions. Buy signal at the 618. Yes, so you can buy at 11:30 and 10:99, both amazing buy entry points. If you want to scale in, look for 11:30 and 10:99. I own ETH right now. Yes, I'm not selling. I am just going to hold through this pullback. I will likely buy more at these 50% and 618 zones. If this count is wrong, we need to know where I'm wrong, guys. If this count is wrong and it starts breaking down below 786, I start to get a little concerned. If we break below our E wave, my count is toast and I need to reassess and figure out where my count is wrong. For now, I default to the bullish impulse, and we need to see our support box hold. And that's basically it. Will I make more ETH by trading against altcoins? I don't know. I'm having a little trouble wrapping my head against the comparing altcoin to Ethereum or Bitcoin, I'm having more success just tracking Ethereum against the dollar. All right, I think that that was a pretty
Fantastic
session on Ethereum. I really like this chart. I hope you guys learned a couple things.
Thanks so much, dude.
Absolutely, that was fun. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, the ETH stuff looks great. Guys, give it up for TraderUnknown. We get 1 hour of the week from him. He's a busy man. We are blessed to have him here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those subs. That is awesome. I know Mike has been working real hard for you guys on this channel, and I've seen some really cool stuff coming out. So pretty awesome community, guys.
Thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
Awesome. Have a good night, everybody.